Welcome to Slow Home Studio. Too many people live in badly designed houses, and we want to change that.
It's Friday, June the 24th, the day before my birthday.
How old are you turning?
33.
That's not true. If you want to know John's real age, I'm going to post it to the site later.
Oh,
so
no,
go
you're
yes, I photocopied your birth certificate, so I'm going to post it up.
All right, well, on to more important things. What we're going to do today is focus on architecture, and we're going to, not on my birthday, and we're going to look at the design results from our project for the week. We had 3 submissions, which is great. We've got one that we want to talk about, and so let's get right to it.
So this is the original floor plan, and we had the kitchen in the middle, and we had a staircase along one side. It was a typical infill townhouse condition, and the challenge was to create a dining space, and you had the option of either removing the kitchen or trying to come up with a space with the existing structure. Everybody moved the kitchen. So this was Frances's scheme, and she moved the kitchen to an island kitchen in the center of the plan, and she created this study space at the front, which was sort of squared off against the vestibule. I like that. Her dining space was in the center. I think she did a really good job because she centered the table on the end of the stair, and she used this piece of millwork here as the other grounding element, and it works really well.
Yeah, and it actually centers it on the other way on the island. So I mean, that's really thinking like an architect because it locks that dining room table into a free plan in a specific space. You know that that's where the table is.
And the circulation as well
and
handled.
The
there's no
very,
impediment.
very nice.
Yeah,
yep.
It's great.
Really, really, really nice. Then we've got Terry's scheme. Terry put the kitchen at the front, asking that early question about the height of the windows, which I thought that this is what she was going to do. I'm glad that she did that. I think it's nice. That solid wall creates that opening. And again, we've got a bigger dining room, but it's also, thinking like an architect, centered on that plan. It's got nice circulation on one side for regular circulation. Lets us move around the table. Very nice location.
I have to say the one thing that I think is really good that Terry did, first of all, the scale of her kitchen is great.
Yep.
I think having the fridge against that back wall is great. I think that the distance between the couch and the TV is a challenge in this plan because of the width of the back, and I think that proportion is good.
That's right, and if anything, maybe Francis's is just a little bit far on that one scheme.
Yep.
Okay, and then we've got Nicole. She submitted some 3D renders, which was very nice of her to do, and now we've got the other location for the kitchen over here on this back side, which I think is kind of a cool thing to do, and now we've got the dining room table situated, centered on that window, and located symmetrically across from the kitchen. Very nice scheme.
Yeah, and I like the idea of having the living room without the TV in the center, focused on a bookshelf or a fireplace object. And then in the front, she's got kind of an away room, a den sort of thing that, you know, you could have a desk or a couch in this case with the television. Again, the proportion there is good for that use.
And there we have one of her renders. Thank you very much for
and
that, Nicole.
The proportion of her dining space is great.
Really
with the
helps
window.
you get a sense of, and you know, my first thought was that maybe having that space in the center was a little too far away, but when you see it in 3 dimensions, it's really not.
No.
I think it's just fine. All right, so now let's have a look at ours. We thought what we would do is walk you through the thinking of our scheme, and this was the original. Here we've got the demo plan, and what we thought we'd do is try and keep the kitchen in basically the same location, but reorient it. And so move this, put a back wall there, add an island that comes out like that. You'll notice why we did this wall in just a second. Put the dining room in the front, centered on this, like that dining room table there. Use this wall as the television focal point.
So that's a floor-to-ceiling element, correct?
That's right.
Yep.
That goes all the way up. It actually allows the structure to accommodate from the old structural wall. Put a library wall across there. Add a desk on that side beside the window, and then put the sectional here, like so, with and then an easy chair for the library over on this side. So that's what it looks like when it's all finished. Now we also had the additional challenge of of placing the lighting in this dining room.
Yeah, and the thing with the dining space, I mean, this proportion works really good and the round table works really good. What we thought we would do is a little bit of an additional architectural detail. We thought we would drop a bulkhead that comes off of the bulkhead above the kitchen cabinets and turns the corner. So this is going to drop about a foot. So imagine an 8-foot ceiling. This is drop a foot. And then in that bulkhead, we would be able to add a few pot lights to get some perimeter lighting. And that would also reinforce the position of the table in the center of the room. And then over the table, we would center a lighting fixture that was a little bit more graphic. So we had a couple of ideas about that. So this was our drawing. showing the location of the bulkhead. We made it about 12 inches out
Yep.
from the wall, and then that would allow that little change of scale to the perimeter.
Right, and what's nice about that is it gives you a wash of light. You can put a dimmer on it. It allows you to have a bit of, you can shut off the other lights in the open plan and then let that wash down on, if you have some art on those walls, and then you've got the one fixture underneath or above the table that provides the task lighting.
And then we thought we would do something a little bit more graphic and fun for the fixture. So we selected for our design the new Bocce Fixture, which is a larger version of the Bocce balls. They also have, they're actually a double ball. They have a glass within a glass. So there's a glass sphere that houses a smaller glass sphere inside that actually has the light. And this is an example. They look like balloons. They
Yeah,
sort of
it does
ring,
really feel like
sort of come out
up in reverse. Right?
Yeah, it is. It's sort of like it's whimsical. It's fun.
And that's looking at it from below if you're laying on your table looking at it. Anyways, I think that's a good way to end the week. And next week we're going to be starting out with some new projects.
See you next week.
Bye-bye.
If you're interested in learning more about the principles of slow home design, you can pick up a copy of our book entitled What's Wrong with This House? It's a practical guide to finding a well-designed and sustainable home. It's available for sale on the Slow Home Studio website. It's also available for sale at Amazon.com in both paperback and the Kindle format.